Hi friends, I'm here with a yoga offering. As always, please do what feels right for you. You might end up skipping things or changing things or moving in a different way to take care of yourself. We will be needing some props for this practice, so use whatever you have in your space. I'm going to suggest we start in supported fish. And there's lots of ways of doing this. I'm going to show two ways, and you can try either of these or your own way. So probably a very gentle way of doing it would be over a rolled up blanket, which could be one tiny little roll or a bigger roll. You can choose the height, and that's going to go behind the upper back, just low enough so the shoulders can fall off the end of it. If you would like more intensity, you might choose a bolster or a couple blocks. And the blocks could be on medium or low, or one on one and one on the other. So something is going to go behind the upper back, pretty high up. Depending on how high that thing is, you may want something else supporting the head. Arms can be overhead or out to the side. Legs can be bent or straight. Take your time settling into the shape you've chosen. If you discover it's not quite right for you, you can adjust at any time. In general, if you want less intensity, use something smaller or softer. If you would like more intensity, something harder or higher. Notice if your chin is way up in the air. If it is, see if you can lengthen the back of your neck. You may need to prop up your head with something to help find length there. If having arms overhead doesn't feel good, you might take them overhead for a moment to see how that helps open the shoulders and then bring them to a place that feels better for you. You can either close your eyes or take a soft gaze. Slow down your breathing. And just see what is there to release here. If you want to stay where you are, you're welcome. If you're ready to move to a different pose, take your time. Maybe there's something you want to explore here before we come out of it. Some movement, slightly different position. One gentle way of releasing is to interlace fingers behind the head. Lift your chin to your chest, taking the pressure off your props. And then you can lean to one side moving your stuff out of your way. And come back down, resting with back flat, feeling something a little more neutral, noticing what's here. And then I'll suggest a supported bridge next. So we're going to lift the hips and place something under the sacrum. That could be a block, a bolster, foam roller, cushion, stack of books with a towel over it. Lots of options. Finding the height and placement that suits you, a little bit lower than the lower back. And then we can get a nice hip flexor stretch from here. Bring your right knee to your chest, grab hold of the right knee, and then straighten the left leg, letting that straight left leg hang. Yawning open the front of the left hip. And then bring your left knee in, drop the right leg long, squeeze left knee in close, releasing the front of the right hip, yawning open there. When you feel even on the two sides, come to neutral. So it could be both knees in, could be both feet back to the floor, could be both legs straight, up in the air or along the floor. And if you need to adjust the height or placement of your props, feel free to do that at any time. Can you find a position that's almost totally passive, like your bones are stacked and the muscles are just hanging on the bone? Want to come through any different leg positions while you're here, you're welcome. If you want to stay where you are longer, you're welcome. And if you are ready to release, you can do so in the most gentle way for you, taking your time, coming out of this, moving any props. Let's take Happy Baby as a counter stretch. Grab the soles of the feet, press your knees towards the floor, and this can be done in stillness or with a little rocking. You can keep your legs bent or straighten them part way or all the way, one at a time or together. You can bring your knees back in, and then let's drop feet to the floor. And cross your right ankle above the left knee. Reach your hands through, grab the left leg, hug it in close, stretching right outer hip. And as you do this, see if you can drop your shoulders, drop your chin, back of the neck nice and long. To release. Drop the left foot to the floor, straighten the right leg up, flex and point your right foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times, both directions. And then keeping your right leg more or less where it is, straighten your left leg along the floor, grounding down through the back of the left leg. Let's open the right leg out to the right. And you can support your leg in any number of ways. One way is to have your elbow on the floor, leg resting into your hand. You might hold somewhere else, but do try and keep that left thigh grounded, left hip down, back of the left knee down. Let's bring this straight right leg up and across. Some of you might reach left hand to the foot. If that's too far, you can bend your knee, use something like a strap, or hold the calf and take it all the way over. Roll open through the right arm, drop down through the right hip. And you can stay here, or if you want to add a quad stretch, your free hand, right hand, can reach down for the other foot, left foot. You might need to pick up your torso to reach, but then once you have hold, roll your right shoulder down. And then roll back onto your back. You can bring your knees in. Take a circle or rock with your knees, releasing the lower back. Maybe shake out the legs a little. And then drop your feet to the floor. We'll set up for the same thing on the other side. Left ankle crosses above the right knee. Reach your hands through. Grab the right leg, hug it in close. So as you do, drop your shoulders, drop your chin, releasing whatever's not needed here now. To release, let's drop the right foot, straighten the left leg up. Flex and point your foot a few times. Circle, a couple big circles, as big as you can. Both directions. Straighten your right leg. Open the left leg out to the left, supporting it in the way that works best for you, and staying grounded through the other leg. What's the just right amount of effort to be here? All of what's needed, none of what's not. Let's bring left leg up. Take the right hand to the outside of the foot, ankle or calf. Take it across. Roll open through the right shoulder, extending. Sorry, what is that? Left shoulder. So left hip down, left shoulder open. And then if you did add a quad stretch on the other side, you can try that again. Left hand, free hand reaches down for other foot. Feeling into this, whatever this is, whatever you're noticing. Roll back onto your back. Bring your knees in, little circle, a rock. Unwind your legs, take them up, shake them out. And let's take a one-legged frog. So now we're going to be facing belly down. So moving gently. And we'll have the right leg out at a right angle. So make sure everything's got something under it so there's nothing bony on hardwood. So we're going to lie face down with the right leg out. You can start with your knee even with your hip and your ankle even with your knee, so right angle. If that doesn't feel right, you could try your knee further up or lower down, or your ankle in or out, but around a right angle might be good. Let your upper body release, and head could be neutral or turned to one side. You can have your arms in whatever configuration feels most natural for you. I like my left arm down and my right arm up. You can try for yourself. And we're just releasing that right hip towards the floor. You might even give it a little shake using your own hands. And the good news is gravity is working with you, releasing as best you can towards the floor. Could you let a little bit more of your weight drop? In a moment, I'll suggest we switch to the other side. You can feel, how do you want to move? What would be the most gentle way for you? Taking your time with any in-between movements or pausing, assessing, integrating what you've just done in any way. And then bring your props into position, get ready for the other side. Moving with care, left leg out at a right angle, supporting all the bony parts with padding of some kind, releasing your hip. Maybe the right arm is down. You can feel, we're trying for something similar on this side just to keep balance, but you know, the two sides can be a little different. What is there to release here? You can always use your own hands on your body or a little movement to help you let go. A deep sigh is also a great tool for letting go. In a moment, we'll release this side. Try and imagine the most gentle way of doing so. How do you want to move? Is there a way to bring a little balance? Integrate what you've just done. If you'd like to join me Sphinx pose feels like a good counter stretch for this for me. Elbows right under shoulders, forearms shoulder width apart. Opening up the front side. You might take a little side to side movement. Grounding down through the pubic bone, opening up through the chest. Turn elbows out to the side, come down and rest for a moment. And let's come up again, either Sphinx or perhaps a little deeper back bend, Cobra or Up Dog. Hands could be under the shoulders or even back by the ribs, and might come up a little higher, elbows in, shoulders down. Opening up the front side. Let's come back to child's pose. Hips to the heels, forehead to the floor. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left and then pull back through your right hip, stretching right side a little more. Come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through your left hip, stretching left side a bit more. Come back to center. And then let's come to sitting. So you can extend the legs forward. Feel free to sit up on something if that's useful. And you can use your hands either on your feet or something around the feet or on the floor, wherever it best serves you. Going towards length, towards folding. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Let's bring soles of the feet together, but have it be a big, wide diamond shape. So you might use your hands on the floor behind you to sit up. You might grab your feet or ankles or legs or even knees pulling against it. And we're going towards length, towards folding. Folding might be just barely an angle forward, or you might come all the way down, resting your head on your feet. If you had folded forward, make your way back up. Let's release the legs. Come back onto your back. Bring your knees in. And check in with yourself. How would you like to wind things down? Of course, if you'd like to keep practicing, that's an option if you have time for that. If you are ready to wrap up this practice, ask yourself, what do I need? What do I want? What would feel good to me now? So practice checking in with your body. We're all learning how to take care of ourselves. It's not always obvious how to do that. When you're ready, come into a symmetrical, relaxed position. Could be Shavasana, could be some other variation. Anything that's even on right and left sides, supported. If there's any places that could use a little help letting go, you might use self-massage, or a little tensing and releasing, or shaking, or rocking. Lots of ways to release. Taking a deep sigh might help. And eventually settle into stillness, letting go of the control of your breath. begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your wrists and ankles. Take a stretch out through your arms and legs. When you're ready, bring your knees in. And roll to one side. Use your hands to help you up to sitting. We'll bring hands together at the heart. Just taking a moment to silently thank yourself for your practice, for taking this time to slow down. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you have a good rest of your day.